and people do not think he's making the decisions. They want to know what an elected official is behind closed doors making the decisions, because the guy we see in front of us is not even the guy that got elected in 2020. And that's what I think Axelrod and Tim Ryan and Van Jones are saying, not right-wing extremists. Yeah. They're saying, this guy can't do the job. Work out your Kamala Harris situation, but there's other talent on the left. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, but, this week I saw repeatedly, video clip after video clip of Donald Trump's talking about the current president, Barack Obama, who is not the current president.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Fox's Brian Kilmeade got put through the ringer over the weekend on an episode of Media Buzz where the Fox and Friends host argued Joe Biden is too old to be president any longer. Kilmeade was openly mocked by liberal talk host Leslie Marshall. Marshall joined Howard Kurtz to discuss Joe Biden's age.
And honestly, in defense of both of them, they're human. I went into the supermarket the other day and I couldn't remember what the heck I was getting, and I'm not in my 70s yet.
GOP nutjobs like Lauren Boebert and Marcia Trainwreck Green have been claiming that Joe Biden can barely talk or say his ABCs and is too old to be president. The Republicans have been engaging in age discrimination and have tried to characterize Joe Biden as weak when that couldn't be further from the truth. Kilmeade has been one of the most vocal.
And Donald Trump keeps saying that because he believes Obama's pulling the strings. I talked to him off camera about that. I talked to him on radio about that. I said, "Why?" And I corrected him on the radio interview. Please go back and listen. I said, "You mean Joe Biden?" He goes, "No, Joe Biden, he's convinced Barack Obama's running the country." That's why he says it. He wants you to think that.
Oh, Brian, come on.
And he thinks that's to his advantage.
That's good. That's good. You should be his manager, his campaign manager.
Listen to the interview.
Good. That's a really good spin on that.
Leslie Marshall became the youngest person ever to be nationally syndicated on radio. She was also the first woman to host an issues-oriented program nationwide. She is a legitimate journalist and is a highly educated one at that. She represents Brian Kilmeade's biggest nightmare, an educated woman who isn't afraid to call him out on his deceitful reporting. Kilmeade tried to push the narrative that Joe Biden is so decrepit that someone else is running the country. Kilmeade tried to say that Donald Trump knows that Barack Obama is secretly running the country to explain away Donald's obvious mental decline. Kilmeade argued that Donald wasn't confused but meant what he said in those rallies. So Donald Trump meant to say he's running against Barack Obama. Right. Brian Kilmeade is an enabler of Donald Trump's delusions. The moderator, Howard Kurtz, looked like a worn-out version of Deputy Dog as he tried to mediate the fireworks. When finally given her opportunity to speak, Leslie Marshall quickly dismissed concerns about President Biden's age and tore into Kilmeade's pathetic argument. She pointed out Trump's repeated mix-ups as being a sign of Donald's cognitive abilities are failing. Kilmeade couldn't accept the possibility of ever being wrong, so he dashed down another rabbit hole. Brian Kilmeade's argument is absolutely ridiculous. He's like the guy who makes excuses for his buddy's drunken behavior instead of admitting that there's a problem. Instead of holding his friends accountable, he enables him to continue to lie to everyone. You could tell that Leslie Marshall's comments got under Kilmeade's skin. Extremists usually have a problem with the truth. It's usually a gateway to frustration for them. Kilmeade really didn't have a way out. Instead of owning up to the possibility that he could be wrong, he doubled down on his delusion. This is the way most MAGA cult members operate. They are so obsessed with not being proven wrong that they abandon all sense of reason. Fact-checking takes a back seat to conspiracies and blame-shifting. Brian Kilmeade is stuck on stupid. Kilmeade and others like him are not real journalists. They are paid actors. These people are Donald Trump's mouthpieces and are responsible for spreading his hateful propaganda. Brian Kilmeade is an absolute embarrassment to journalism, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.